Hi guys, it's Charles here. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm gonna show you the way people can make a living, and you can use your time and money and assets as a resource to generate something outside of work. You see, so I'm gonna do a presentation on my whiteboard, and I want to share some of the things you can do to earn a little bit of extra income, especially in this time of high cost of living. So what I do is in the high time cost of living, most people talk about cutting costs, cutting back. Not many people talk about what ways can we expand their income. What ways can you do to build up something outside of work, okay, outside of your full-time job. I'm going to show you something different, okay? So I will show you something on my presentation, and this is what I will show you now. So as you can see, so there are three ways people use trade their time for money. They either have a full-time job or part-time job. They have a second job that's equals to time, or they self-employed time. For now, because I'm relying on my content, and hopefully I'll get clients to help build up themselves, build up their confidence to move to the next level of life, I'm trading my time for income, you see. So with self-employed people, there are two ways you get paid. You get paid through having clients, or so the clients could give you to trade your time for their education and all your services, you see. Or you could sell goods. So you could go to the marketplace and sell some goods, okay? So you could be the best artist. You could also you have many talents. You can sell your artwork. You can sell shoes. You can sell someone else's product. These are potential revenue sources you can have. You can sell artwork. You can sell your space or even your resources. So you can put everything that you do, like you have to be there to manage. Okay, you can sell even books. Self-employed, you sell your books. Okay, so these are the ways you could do to use your time to make extra income so that you can build up your own future. Okay, so whatever your future is, that you want to be independent, and you want to use your time to the best of your ability, you're going to have to find ways to use your talent to build something outside of your job. Okay, so I am using my talent to share how people can be independent. Although I'm a CPA and accountant myself, I want to be able to find ways to help people improve their lives at their own terms. Many people feel like they have to live their lives under other people's terms, especially when you are dependent and you're living at home. But you can do better, and these are the things I'll do, you see. So my plan is to set goals and teach people how to reach them. Now, some people may not want to trade their time for money. Sometimes it's exhausting. I have known people who have two jobs, so they may have the primary job that pays most of the income, but they have the secondary job that might pay them probably like 20% of the primary job. The only factor with that is you're trading your time, and when you trade your time for money, sometimes you can burn out. There are other ways you could trade, you see. So I'm just going to go to some extreme. So something you could do is content. So I am delivering my content, you see. And when I do my content, sometimes Facebook and YouTube, maybe TikTok will give me some royalties. So my video is designed to get paid as there's more view come in, you see. And who knows, maybe that I could get brand sponsors, but I don't know. I'm taking one step at a time, so I'm not going to be pessimistic. So royalties is one way. So you get money paid from Facebook, you get paid from YouTube, and if I achieve certain milestones, I will definitely use the funding to show people how they can be independent, and I can. So something I want to do is try a share house. Try looking at a share house, what it looks like. Try looking at buying a old car, not for my benefit, but for my audience benefit. And I would see if it's feasible to just learn how to repair an old car, put an old car together, and also use an old car as long as it's well maintained. How to find the right old car for my audience, especially with those who are starting out. So, and also, I don't want to encourage people to get into debt except into buying a property. So, everything I do, all my advice, the disclaimer is, take it at your own risk. You are responsible for everything you learn on my channel. I'm going to give you general advice, and I won't be responsible for anything that you decide, because this is something I want to do to build. And these are when we make decisions, you have to take some risks. So some of the things you could do is you build content. Now, the other thing is share. So two ways to make money from shares. One is you get dividends. So the companies will pay you out every half year, quarter, or sometimes if you're lucky, monthly. Or you can make it from buying and selling shares. So this is like day trading, and I personally I'm not going to recommend you do that as a living, because I've seen people lose money. But if you invest in the medium to long term or short term, or you have a right strategy, you can use your share. You can go in the share market, understand it, and build. I don't trade much shares, so, and even if I do, at the moment I do have shares, but I make sure that I manage my risk, you see. And managing the risk of shares is basically put what you can afford to put in. That's what I'm saying. And if that share market dives down into $0, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. That's how I look at view share market. I don't put a lot of money in. I just put whatever I need in to help generate something additional, and maybe something that could be potentially long term. Everyone has a different strategy, and I'm not here to advise you how to trade shares. I'm not even telling you what shares to buy. This is at your own risk. So all I'm just saying is share is a possibility for you to invest and grow. So the other option is a shared economy. So the shared economy is when you are sharing your assets, sharing your home, and you charge rent for it. So if you have a car, if you have a house, if you have an apartment, if you have a spare room, you can utilize this shared economy, and you don't have to give up your time. But you have to, not as much. So if someone rents your room for like 5 days, you can charge them like $200 a day. Or depending how long, if they rent your room for like 1 month, you can charge $200, $300, $400 a day. Okay. This is how you dictate the terms, and you're using your assets to generate income. You're using your car, you're using your house. You might even want to rent other tools. You can rent your land as well. So rental income, it's a good way to generate additional income outside of the thing. The other option is if you've built a big business. So this is not very common, and I don't see many owners doing this. You have to, like Mark Zuckerberg, he has a business. He doesn't have an empire, because if he chooses to step down, someone else has to take over, and they're not going to make all the right decision he wants to make. So the business and the empire are different. Okay, so if you have a business, you can use some of the assets, but you'll still have to use your time to run it. So a business, I will write it down. Time and profit. A business, you still need to trade time. You still need to trade your time, so that your business can grow. But the business Good thing about the business is when you trade time and you only do it once, it will continually grow, you see. So the other option is you trade if you run the business and you fully own the business, you can enjoy your profits too. So you might have a small team of employees, maybe 10, 20 people or 5. It's up to your business. Okay. So I currently don't have employees, so I can't advise you about business as much but I can tell you I've seen many businesses to run. I know how they run, and most of the time the owner has to be there to guide the direction of the business. Okay, so unless they hire their own CEO, if they hire their own CEO, hire a manager to take over the business, and all they do is just get report, then they have an empire. Someone who can step back from the business and live off the profits from their business and not take a salary, that's an empire. Okay, so a simple business could be, for example, if someone has a car park. Okay, so one person, the owner might have to read the figures every single day. So he's giving up his time. He has to read. He has to run. He has to make sure the car park is making a profit, or he has to see what decision he needs to make. So if his car park is not making money, he might have to ask one of the security guards to. He had to let a security guard to let go one of the security guard, or cut the amount of parking space, or maybe even rent the car parking space out for longer term. An empire is different. An empire is someone run the business for you, and you just live for the profit. The only thing with that empire is if you delegate somebody to run that business for you, you have to be able to trust that person can run it profitably and he's trustworthy. He's not. So this is the thing where you have to look at it in perspective. I know people who are selling businesses, and some people do sell their business because they want to retire. But these are the potential methods where people can make extra money. Content, shared economy, empire. The only thing that trade-off is if you have a business, you need time. All these things you can reduce your time on for money. But coming back to this content, this method, you're still trading time for money. Okay, if you sell e-commerce store, you might not trade as much time. If, let's just say you only make money when you make sales. So when you put all the product out there, you're selling goods. You might not have to trade as much time. Like if you have eBay store, you have 100 items, and maybe you occasionally get sales. You don't need to trade so much time for money, because you only make money when you get sales, and it's a little bit. It's semi-passive, okay? But sometimes you get sales, sometimes you don't. If you have an automated system, however, so for example, the most automatic business is ebook, like the Kindles. Okay, so if you write the book once and it sells 100 books, and then you don't need to do much except advertise once and people start referring your book, that is passive income. It's different from active income. Active income is when you actually have to work for it and you have to trade it. Passive income or royalty is when you make something once and it sells ongoing. An ebook, you don't have, or something that's a system behind, like Amazon, you don't have to trade as much time once the product is out. All you need to do is just put it out there, let Amazon do the work, and then you just and then they'll pay you. See, so that's what passive income looks like. Anyway, I just thought I'd share this with you because they're how to make more time, and next time I'm going to share about time budgeting, how you can use your time effectively to create something really wonderful. Okay, thank you.